Yo, what's good, YouTube? Zamcro here, aka Scoop, back with the International Competitive Battle Association D-League Season 2, week number 6, and we're taking on the St. Kilda Serperiors, I think. It's been a long time. I haven't uploaded in a couple weeks for the ICBA, and uploads in general. Just going through some personal things, but I'm back. I'm back now. And, yeah, so our opponent is rocking the Deoxys Speed. Deoxys Speed. Let's see here. Deoxys Speed, Garchomp, Primarina, Heatran, Delmise, Drapion, Como-O, Tornadus Incarnate, Rotom Frost, Lycanroc Day, and the Meloetta. So we got a pretty fun squad we built here. His Z move users are potentially, what were they? I know Heatran was one. Deoxys Speed and Como-O, I think. That's what I want to say. I know it was definitely Deoxys Speed. Our team is Dragonite, Suicune, Donphan, Crocodile, Alola Marowak, Bronzong, Magearna, Archeops, Gorgeist, Licky, and Zapdos. We have made a few swaps on our team. We now have Gorgeist and Archeops over at Crogonal and Tauros, which is pretty cool. So, yeah, our Z-move users, Dragonite, Crocodile, and Magearna. You can see on screen we're not bringing Z Magearna this week, but we do have a pretty cool set here with the Shukaberry. This Shukaberry allows me to lead with this potentially, unless he brings the Heatran. Obviously, don't want to lead with this, but if he doesn't bring the Heatran, I can lead with this. If he leads Garchomp, I can just click the Dazzling Gleam as he clicks Earthquake, or predicts me to switch out and clicks Rocks or something. But yeah, anyways, this is specifically my Meloetta check, like a Calm Mind Meloetta check with the Heart Swap and the Shift Gear, so I can steal his stats, Shift Gear up, and be in a pretty dominant position. And it's pretty fire, in my opinion. Heart Swap and Shift Gear looks really cool on paper. Dazzling Gleam and the Hidden Power Ground for the Heatran, and Dazzling Gleam hits literally everything else. And yeah, so after Shift Gear, I have enough speed to outpace most of his Scarfers. I don't think I outpace like a Scarf Garchomp or I never outspeed Deoxys, and like a Scarf Tornadus, I don't outspeed it either. And maybe Scarf Drapion. I'm not real sure on that one though. Don't quote me. But yeah, that's the Magearna set. And next up, we have our boy Zapdos here with the Discharge, Roost, Baton Pass, and Agility. Now, so I felt at a disadvantage at matchup, which is why you're seeing two very unconventional sets back to back. I have this Mono Electric Zapdos, although he has things like Garchomp, Como-O, Delmise. I guess that's it. But yeah. And instead of packing like Volt Switch because he has Garchomp, and then could pack U-Turn instead since he does have the Garchomp, he could be like a Rocky Helmet Rough Skin variant, and that would just be unacceptable. Baton Pass is the better momentum grabbing move this week, and I can also Baton Pass an Agility into any of my Mons, which is pretty hype, I should say. Not that heat, but more so hype, especially when you see the rest of my team. Like I said, it's very unconventional. This thing can take hits from the Heatran, the Delmise, Primarina, Tornadus Incarnate, which is what it's designed to just 1v1 100% of the time. Takes hits from Meloetta and Deoxys Speed as well, which is pretty nice. I guess that's about it. It does significant damage to Primarina and the Tornadus Eye. And if I was packing the Hidden Power Ice, it wouldn't be bad for Garchomp either. So next up we have a Dragonite with the Weakness Policy, Dragon Dance, Dragon Claw, Earthquake, and Extreme Speed. So this thing's pretty powerful. If I get a Dragon Dance up and I get the Weakness Policy boost, then I'm in a really good position to beat down his entire team, especially if things like Primarina Primarina, and the Lycanroc Day are weakened, then Extreme Speed actually just goes ham on him. Earthquake bops the Heatran, Dragon Spam for everything else that's not Primarina, and yeah, that's basically it. Had to run Jolly, had to. It's like necessary, and yeah, not enough bulk investment to really even say that I got specific spreads or nothing like that. We'll just move on to our boy Suicune over here, rocking the Scald, Ice Beam, Calm Mind, and Protect. I guess a bit standard set, but Suicune's basically going to be standard every week. It's just that good at what it does. Yeah, nothing really to say about it. It can take a +2 Earthquake from Garchomp and bop it with the Ice Beam. It can take any hit from Heatran, even a Bloom Doom, if I'm at full. Takes +2 close combats from Como-O. Doesn't appreciate Delmines hits though. Takes any hit from Primarina, Lycanroc Day, Drapion, any kind of physical hits from Meloetta and Deoxys as well. So yeah, this thing's pretty powerful, or pretty stout, I should say. He can't break it really well. He doesn't have anything that straight up breaks it really well, outside of like Rotom, and I guess Rotom's basically it. Yeah, otherwise this thing's just a nuisance for my opponent to deal with. I can always click Protect, see if he wants to scout for choice locked items and stuff like that, and any kind of shenanigans. Like I said, Bloom Doom Heatran is a very big possibility, and I'm assuming that's just about it. So finally a standard mon, so like 2 unconventional mons, 2 pretty standard mons, and then we get back to the unconventional stuff. We got King Crooked here rocking the Groundium Z and the Moxie ability. Bulk Up, Earthquake, Knock Off, and Power Trip. So my opponent's got an interesting squad where Knock Off, where Dark and Earthquake hits his, let's see here, Ground and Dark spam hits his entire team, at least neutrally. And I can come in on things like Heatran and Scared Out. I can come in on things like Drapion, Lycanroc Day, potentially scare out something like Deoxys as well, and Meloetta even. So it's all pretty hype. This is my main recipient. I'm hoping this works out. I can Baton Pass and Agility into a Crocodile, force something out, and click Bulk Up, and then proceed to click Groundium Z on any grounded mon. Obviously I would click Knock Off against anything else, but if I got an Agility, which is a ×2 speed change, which is 2 stat changes basically, and I get a Bulk Up off, that's 4 stat changes, and then a Moxie boost would be 5 stat changes. So what happens is I pass the Agility off into the Crook, get the Bulk Up off, get a Moxie boost with my Groundium Z, and then proceed to sweep with Power Trip. That's the plan. And the Earthquake, the Groundium Z, if I can save it, I will. But if I need to go ahead and bop something so I can get that extra boost for Power Trip to be 120 base power, then I will go ahead and use my Z move. Otherwise, I'd like to save it for like a bulky Primarina. That's really, or potentially like a Como. That's the 2 mons that I would like to use the Z move on if it comes down to it. But yeah, that's pretty high vibes. I'm hoping this set works out so bad. Next up we have another ground type mon with Leftovers, Sturdy, Stealth Rock. This is a Spadef set with a little bit of attack investment. Stealth Rock, Earthquake, Knock Off, and Toxic. So I can Toxic any lead he wants. Click Stealth Rock. He's likely to bring the Deoxys and lead with it. And but if he does, I'm going to predict the Taunt and just click Knock Off potentially, because I don't want him, just taunting me and then proceeding to set up his own spikes or hit me with the Ice Beam or Sub-Zero Slammer or something like that. But yeah, this thing checks Meloetta decently. It checks the Lycanroc Day pretty well. Takes it from Como-O, Heatran, and Garchomp pretty well. So throw off Toxic, Earthquake spam, and then Knock Off. Like I said, Knock Off or Dark type spam and ground type spam are like really good against this team. So my last 2 months, rocking both actually earthquake and knockoff spam. So it's pretty cool. Really hoping the crocodile can put in the most work, because I'm just very happy with this build. Like I said, I felt like my opponent had team matchup, so I wanted to bring a little bit of innovation to try to win this. So we'll hop into the replay. Okay, so here we are in the replay. My opponent chooses to bring the Como-O, Meloetta, Heatran, Primarina, Tornadus Incarnate, and the Deoxys Speed. And our team is, like I said, in the team builder. Nothing changed. Threats, looking at his team, are Como-O and Deoxys Speed, as well as Meloetta if I'm reckless. But the other two are pretty threatening, whether or not I'm reckless or not. So I feel like I can win. I actually feel like I can win with the plan that I brought. Baton pass and agility into Crocodile, set up a bulk up and win, scare something out and win that way. That's the idea. So I'm hoping to use things like Suicune to chip down the rest of his team. Magearna can really chip down some of his team too. He does bring the Meloetta, so if it's a Calm Mind variant and I get a hard swap and a shift gear up, then it could be pretty cool too. Lots of different ways to win this match. Weakness policy Dragonite can actually win as well. And if he lets his offensive Mons get beat down, then a defensive Suicune can just win by just absorbing all of his hits, and eventually him running out of either PP or running out of HP due to things like I don't think I actually have Toxic on Suicune. I think it's on Donphan. But regardless, I guess we can just hop into the battle here instead of talking about ifs and whats and what ifs and whatnot. So he leads with the Primarina. I lead Donphan. So turn one, not the best lead for me, but just in case he's like a Choice Specs Energy Ball type set, I don't want to go hard into Suicune, and I would rather just get up my rocks or throw off a Toxic. So he's going to be able to hit me off with a Scald here and burn me. So a bit unfortunate there, but I am going to be able to hit him up with the Toxic. So now things looking a little bit easier for Dragonite to win now. So that's pretty hot. However, I am burned, and Earthquake and Knockoff's going to be doing significantly less Scald would not bring me that far down unless he is a Specs or Life Orb or offensive variant. So here I'm predicting him to be Specs. I'm going to hard switch out into my Suicune and take nothing from Scald. Essentially nothing after leftovers. But I'm actually burned, so my leftovers are negated. And I take a hefty chunk actually. So here I'm just going to click the Calm Mind. No reason not to. Reason being is because he couldn't really damage me, and whatever he switched into is actually going to take a lot of damage, because the only thing that's not taking damage from my 2 moves are the Primarina itself, which just switched out, and I'm pretty happy about that. So here, I'm just going to click the Ice Beam. My opponent chooses to Dragon Dance, as I bop him here with the Ice Beam. It's doing well over half, and I get the freeze, but he's got the Lumberry, so not too bad. Here he's going to throw off a close combat, and it's just going to do half. It's like I said, max defense Suicune. It's just doing half, and able to pick up a knockout there. However, now I need to find an opportunity where, like, I guess there really is no opportunities here. There's no way to get my Suicune back healthy, but it's did its job, like, really. It's got a Toxic on. Well, it didn't land the Toxic, but it's gonna help wear this thing down with Protect and PP Stalling. So that's pretty cool. He also has he also locks himself in an Energy Ball here instead of Moonblast, so I can freely switch in. I can understand why, sort of, because he didn't want me to go. Like, he didn't lock himself in the Moonblast because I could, like, or Dazzling Gleam or whatever, because I could switch into Magearna and set up on him, which I'm actually going to take the opportunity. I should have maybe went Magearna first there on the Specs Energy Ball, and then seeing what would happen here. Could potentially straight up just off a Hidden Power Ground. I'm going to reveal Shift Gear on this turn because I'm going to expect my opponent to Calm Mind up potentially, or just switch out to the Heat Ran. So I want to be faster than that in case he does. He does go straight out to the Heat Ran. And now we're at a little bit disadvantage, but I want to see how much this Hidden Power Fire does. It does nothing, and Flamethrower is going to knock me out. So here I'm going to hard switch out into my Suicune. Can easily eat up any attack outside of like a Power Herb, Solar Beam, or a Bloom Doom or anything like that. Just click the Scald here, knowing he would switch out, not wanting to fear me being faster than him actually. And like I said, I can just wear this thing down and setting up my Dragonite for the win. It's basically the plan here. Had I been a Lumberry set on Dragonite right here, I could come in right now and start setting up. But since I am not the Lumberry, I didn't want to risk a Scald Burn as I was setting up to win. But here I go into Crook and going to try to bluff a Choice Scarf and click Knockoff here. My opponent takes a very long 1, maybe 2 minutes deciding this play here, and ultimately chooses to go out into Heat Ran, because if I am Choice Locked, this is the only thing that can eat 1 hit. Meloetta would drop to a +1 knockoff, Tornadus would drop to a +1 knockoff, and Deoxys Speed is not running enough speed to outspeed a Choice Scarf Crook, apparently. So he does think I am choiced, and he brings in the Heat Ran. I am not choiced, however, and I'm going to reveal the Earthquake. And now he goes into the Deoxys Speed. So now I'm predicting something like Ice Beam, or Focus Blast, or an All-Out Pummeling, or a Sub-Zero Slammer. So most likely going to be a Z move to make sure he can net the KO. And I'm just going to sack off my Crocodile, or my Donphan here. It's at 1%, and watching a Z move be wasted on a 1% mon is heavenly when you're on the when you're the one watching it, drop. So here I bring in my Dragonite. I see he's got the Ice Beam, so I feel like he's definitely going to click it here and break my weakness policy, right? That's certainly the idea around this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to click the Dragon Claw right here on the first turn. I didn't set up a Dragon Dance because he could still potentially be faster, and if he's bulky enough, then the +3 Extreme Speed wouldn't knock out. So I wanted to make sure I grab this knockout with a +2 Dragon Claw, but I get frozen, right? Okay, so I got frozen. I got burned on turn 1, I got burned on turn 2, and I got frozen on turn 18. I'm going to switch out to Magina. I don't need it. It can take a couple hits. Takes the Ice Beam and gets frozen. So my opponent clicks the Hidden Power, not sure which type. Go back into Crocodile here, and my opponent switches out to the Tornadus Cornet. So here's my opportunity once again. I'm going to go into my Zapdos, and I can take any hit from this thing. And what I'm going to proceed to do is roost up on it. Oh, agility first. So I know I lived any one hit. Agility up and then roost, because I'm going to be faster now. And now that I'm faster, I can proceed to what I should have did here. What I should have did here to go ahead and 100% earn the win. I should have clicked agility once more, and then baton passed into Crocodile, because at +1 or at times 4 speed, after 2 agilities, Crocodile outspeeds everything, no matter what. No Mon, no Choice Scarfmon outspeeds a +4 or 2 agilities. Crook, no Mons, trust me. And I could have baton passed into Crook, and the Tornadus would click Hidden Power Ice. It would not do enough from full to knock me out. So then I would have a Crocodile with enough speed to outpace everything on his team. I would click Knockoff, and he had 3 Mons. He had Tornadus I at like 35% or so. Let's see exactly how much. 25% actually. 25% Torn, which dies to Knockoff. Deoxys dies to Knockoff, and Meloetta dies to Knockoff. So had I just agility'd up once more, knowing I could take any hit from Torn, baton passed out into Crook, knowing I can take any hit from Torn, and then click Knockoff, get the Moxie boost, and then I have my Groundium Z to use on the Meloetta, and then another Knockoff to use on the Deoxys. So bit of my fault, not thinking it through as far as I should have, but I still feel like I can win here. My opponent goes straight into the Deoxys speed here, and I'm just going to click Discharge. It's revealed Z move, so I know that it's not going to have anything funky. It shouldn't have anything funky, that is. Here he goes for the Psychic. So he went for the Ice Beam first, and then he went for the Psychic. So had I baton passed into Crook on the Psychic, he lost. Once again, it's just not understanding my opponent's plays here. He's been extremely lucky this match. I felt like he threw away his Heat Ran, just assuming I was Scarfed. He threw away Deoxys, but got lucky with the freeze, and now he just threw away Deoxys again, clicking Psychic, knowing I have the baton pass and I'm faster. So let's go ahead and hop back into the battle here. I'm going to click Discharge here, knock out the Deoxys D. And what was happening here was that Zapdos was starting to clean up, so I was getting pretty hyped for Zapdos, but that's a problem here, because I let Meloetta in for free, which is no bueno here. Was not expecting the Relic Song. I was, like I mentioned in my team prep, I was expecting the Calm Mind variant, but this thing can't beat me either. It just don't have enough power to beat me, so I can just click Roost, Discharge, and my opponent's going to click the Ice Beam and get another freeze. So basically what's going to happen here is Meloetta's going to win with, Ice Punch spam, Close Combat spam, and going to get a very well not deserved win for my opponent, but apparently he got hacked out in week 5, and definitely was going to take a win no matter how it came in week 6, which it is Pokemon, so I don't blame him, but it just goes to show you that in Pokemon, in life, you can do all you need to do the correct way, and bad luck can fuck your day up. Anyways, leave a like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.